Let's see. Ugh, come on, just. There we go. Let's see, is that. I have to. Just as needed. Welcome. This is what we're doing today. We are, this is actually one of the ones I drew a little bit earlier. If the same one, this actually I drew this slightly different, a bit later, trying to practicing my shading. And I'm gonna fill this one in today and see if I can, you know, do as good as that. This one turned out pretty good, so I'm actually happy with it. This is my reference. Actually took a picture, and these are originally like white flowers, not pink, but I didn't think the white would look as noticeable on a white background. It'd probably be cool on a black background or something like that, but well, I figure, you know, it's spring. Let's do some pink. And so I'm gonna just keep this thing black and white. I'm using a normal, just plain old everyday run-of-the-mill pen, and I might run out of ink in this, so hopefully I have another one somewhere around here I can use. Apparently I didn't think that far ahead, but I do have some micron number 5. This might be a little bit too thick. I also have some pencils, so I might do a half and half shading with some pencils as well as ink. And we'll see how that turns out. I haven't really done anything kind of a multi-one, so we'll see how that works. And we'll get started. This was originally, like I put it in the comments, this was originally a dorm for a LDS, not LDS, a dorm for the BYU campus. And my dad actually went to this, stayed at this building. This was one of the buildings he actually stayed at, and then later on actually it burned down, and the only thing that was left of it was the brick. And the LDS church actually ended up buying it and moving it across the street, I believe, and they rebuilt it and turned it into a church because I guess the community needed a church because it got so big. And it's just such a beautiful building, and I happened to be doing Ubering nice quiet morning. Nobody was there, and it's spring and had white flowers. It just perfectly kind of looked like it was hugging the building. And so I'm like, I gotta take a picture of that and draw it. So that's what I did this last week. Just did the draw. This week we're going to do some shading and some going to be doing some watercolor of the flowers and stuff. Like I said, originally they were white flowers, cotton flowers or something like that, but I'm going to do some pink ones so they're a little bit more noticeable against the back ones. So hopefully you will enjoy this, and oh, thank you. Yeah, this was the original one that I kind of drew just in small form, and I really enjoyed it. And so I'm trying to make it bigger. Who knows, maybe down the line I'll try to redraw. It took forever to freaking draw this one. BJ, I really enjoyed it, so I'm just not BJ. I can't even read your name. All right, so let's just get started. I'm just going to do the flowers first until my ink runs out, and then I have to go and find some more. If not, then I'm going to do some shadowing with the pencil as well. Let's get started. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. I should just go and actually do some of put the flowers in there and then just let it dry. And then I'll do the shading with the ink. That way the ink doesn't run and get muddy. So we'll do that first. Grab my little bottle of water. I probably should have changed out. We'll get a little bit of minky pink, and I'm just gonna quickly. This is actually some Weston and Newton watercolor pencil. I actually had a set of watercolor pencil, got off of the Facebook Marketplace. It has a watercolor and the normal pencil, and they're I'm really enjoying them. So it was like 20 or 30 bucks. So let's get some color in here. I'm just going to do some of the regular pink, and then we'll get some more. This is watercolor paper. It's just some of the Master Choice from Hobby Lobby. It's not overly thick and not overly dry, but I figured it'd be a good way to use it and see how well they are. You know, Master Choice is kind of just kind of, you know, not the best stuff, but we'll see. Where is my binding? I'm gonna try to use that as a reference so I can kind of see how I have some of these things done up before I start doing some of the extra. I also have some red ones, so I'll put some extra darker points in here. So it kind of looks like shading, mostly on the underside. A little bit in it, but where I think where the shadows would be, I might do it a little bit darker. I'm not going to do the whole thing in watercolor. I'm just going to be doing the flowers. So everything else is going to be black and white or gray. And then the rest of the color will actually just be popping of the flowers. And I'm also very new at watercolor, so this is kind of an experiment because, you know, I've only been like drawing for like 2 or 3 months, and so everything's kind of learning. Before I was good at doing pencil drawings, but I'm like, I always told myself, I'm 46 years old, and I always told myself I can't learn new things. You know, my mom was a great artist, and it's like I have aunts and uncles who are great artists, and it's like going, well, I'm really good at doing stick figures, and that's about it. But I never actually tried seriously until lately. And so it's like, you know, I have no excuse. I'm starting a YouTube channel, might as well get started, and it forces me to stay consistent. That's a lot of color there. So if you have a project you want and you're not that consistent, start a YouTube channel. You can learn all kinds of stuff. Just the learning curve is very large. I started about a year ago doing YouTube, and it was a budgeting channel that I did. And it's for someone who's basically computer illiterate, barely even learned how to do cut and paste. Yeah, it was a bit of a learning experience. Finally starting to figure some of this stuff out. But so why not learn something else that's new? And that'd be art. And I'm actually really, really enjoying it. So do you have any new projects that you getting started and then realizing, you know, I have absolutely no freaking clue what I'm doing? But why not get started with some and see how far I can go. So that's basically the gist of this channel. Seeing how far I can go. And some days I really surprise myself. And other days it looks like I'm drawing aliens and mutants and stuff. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my channel if you're into the art thing. I also have some other older videos that was like some challenges. So just, you know, random stupid stuff. But yeah. I'm enjoying myself, so. A darker, it's just basically pink, rose pink and cremin, whatever the heck. I can barely read. Oops. I'm using the darker one for highlights or low lights or something like that for the shadow. And then I'll use the pink or the ink to kind of get some other shades in there as well. Now, am I doing it right? Probably not. Like I said, I've not been doing much watercolor. So I'm learning. Where's my rag? Wipe some of this off. sharpen that some. Oh, that was very watery. I don't need it that watery. You can always go in here with some pencil. I love doing these live ones because, like I said, it keeps me doing this. Even if it's just people coming in, popping in and popping out and saying hi, it's nice because then it forces me to actually continue doing this and learning. But even though I have to force myself to kind of go and do some of these challenges and do some of these YouTube, lives and just putting videos out. It's a real kind of, not really a pain, but it's just overcoming your own, like, I'm not good enough, stupid self. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do painting. I don't know how to do anything. Beepity deepy. Somebody's in the garden. But, yeah, that's why you do this stuff. Okay, I'll let that side dry a little bit. Get some more shadows on this one. Have that kind of. This might be a 3-part one, depending on how much time I have today. Let's do this side. Here. I don't want to go overboard on the flowers, but I don't want enough. Get these in before I do the shading of the rest of the building. Because that way I'll have to do a little bit lighter on the shading where the flowers are. Sharpen that. Sharpen it. How are you all doing this Sunday? Any plans this spring? If it's spring near you, that is. You never know with YouTube. You never know. I forget, this side has a lot of color. Not the color. Get some darker red for a little bit low lights or shadowing. And then I'll go in there with some ink. Okay, that's too much. Keep it mostly underneath it. I think they might have some clumps. This might actually be one I might want to redo on a bigger scale, like on a canvas, a watercolor canvas. Might look pretty. I'll have to print up the picture I have and put it like on a Google Drive or something like that, in case somebody out there wants to try their hand at it. It's very, very pretty. Like I said, the flowers are actually white, not pink, but make a nice contrast. I should have printed it up so I can have a better idea where the flowers, which direction they are. I think I put too many in there. It's okay. And then I'll probably just do some, make it look like I might do some different colors on some of the other shrubs down here. Make it look like some of the flowers are coming off. I am so close to being 100 subscribers. I would love to bust 100 today. That would be awesome. I'm like at 98. So hopefully, if people are into art, don't sub or subscribe if you're not interested. I'm not going to beg just for things for then not have anybody watch. I want a community, not just some subs. But if you're interested in this, go check out some other videos, and if you like what you see, feel free to sub. I would love it. Add you to some of my community, my family. I think that's good for now. I can always add some more if it needs it. And smash that out. Tell myself not to be in too much of a hurry. I can always do a part 3 of this video. Oops, I want to keep that so I can see. Yeah, alright. Let's start on, let that side dry, and I'll work on this side. Put those back in here. Oh, actually I might keep those 2 out since I actually used them in case I need them. But the other one I did not use, so I'll put that one back. some just quick little areas of clumps so I can have an idea so I don't go overboard. I don't want to get too much in an area. And if you overwork one area, it can look kind of odd too, from what I noticed. Make the size. These ones are a little bit overworked. Making multiple little clumps of them because that's usually how I saw them in the picture. Like each of these are like 3 or 4 different clumps of flowers. This is kind of a messy draw type of style, so I don't have to be drawing individual little flowers on here because even though you do see the flowers more close up than you actually do the building in the picture, because the trees are actually closer to you than the building. Do just some light ones on top and more darker ones on the bottom. Okay, now that's just a nice messy one. I'll do a little more detail on them a little bit later. Just trying to get an outline of them. Let it flow. Don't be afraid to cover up some other parts of the building or the other trees. This is just kind of the outline of it. Get some clumpings, add some shadows, add some more pink if needs be. Trying different types of techniques. Or making them up. Probably not making them up because, everybody tried other things, I'm sure. But, hey, if you've never been to school, this is how you figure stuff out. When it doesn't work out, you go and look up some videos. And when it does look up, you're like, hey, I like that, but I want to do more. So you go look up some more videos. Or you ask people that you know who are artists, or I have a couple in town that I've talked to, and some teachers who are going to school to become teachers. I have to talk to them. Just whatever looks pleasing. Sometimes they don't quite turn out. Like this was my last little drawing I did. My it kind of looks like a rabbit and a cat had a funky night or something like that. And now it's got some chickens. But sometimes you hit them out of the park and they look awesome like that, and other times, well, they don't. I'm hoping this one will be one that's hit out of the park. I'm kind of happy with it so far. Let me get over here. I'll work a little bit more over here. Need some coffee. Cheers. Starbucks. Ooh, it's cold. Ugh. Okay, bring this down a little bit. Let's get some more shadowings underneath. I think some of these clumps might be. I'm still working on shadowing with ink. It's all very new. I have some of the other stuff. I had this one, which I kind of did myself, and then I did watched some other videos. Make sure I can get that in frame. But yeah, I did some of these. They're working on shadowing on buildings and lights and getting the shadow going the right direction so it looks more 3D. And that one's, I'm kind of working on that one. And trying to do that on my own and see what I've learned. And sometimes it's a little bit of a mess, and we'll see how it looks. Some days you like trying to reproduce what you just did, and you don't know what you just did. You ever had those, like, you're like, you do something and it turns out freaking wonderful. And then you try to reproduce it either larger scale or smaller scale, and you're losing. Yeah, it just kind of looks like crap. Well, let's get some shadow under here. I have the light coming over here, so I'm going to have most of it. And you have a little arrow here. There. So I have to kind of remember where my light is coming from. Sometimes I get distracted, and then I was like, oh, put the shadow on this side, on that side, on this side, on that side. And then it's just, it looks odd. Some little hatchworks. See if that looks okay. Maybe not. Since they're kind of flowers, I've been staking kind of with the. If you guys are interested in getting a picture of this this building and everything, let me know, and I'll upload it to my Google Drive and add it to these live streams. So that looks like a bug. The wings right there and a thingy. It's like a very fat ladybug. Probably didn't need to have all the lines on top. I probably could have just started with like shading small parts and just giving it an impression of where the lighter side is. It's okay. I'll try that next time. Come in here with some other darker colors. Let's get some more of the shadow underneath. Let's get some shadowing on this tree a little bit from the get a little bit of rounded on the top as well. Have a little bit of shadow on the top from the tree, the flowers above as well. Trying to use these shapes and underneath it where I think the shadow might be, if this is a flower. And also you can always do some shadowing under it as well. I'm still trying to learn how to do trees. Like I said, maybe in a year I'll have to redo these, and then some of these ones that I've done earlier on. See the progress you're making. Get a couple dead sticks. I have to watch some more videos on trees. This whole video might just be doodling on my trees today. Doodling? Whatever. Let's get some little twigs that didn't quite grow anything in here. Thingy. Oh, why was it always so quiet? I'm gonna probably just do most of the leaves today, and then I'm gonna have to print up that picture so I can have a better idea with the shadowing. I do have this one. It does kind of come up and over like that, but I'll work on that later. I'm gonna just worry about buds today and a little bit of shadowing on the trees. I might go and get some, like I said, I'm gonna have to print up that picture. Dad's home. Angel up there. Oh, good enough. It's too tiny. And a little extra curly cues, swirls, and a little bit of shading from the tree above. And that one's probably a little blah. Do some curly cues. I think more of the shading in circles are kind of look a little better than straight lines underneath some of these ones. Because there are a lot of little flowers, so. These look like pink clouds. I didn't realize how much one of these. Imagine if I did a big canvas of this. This would take forever. I wonder some of those art ones that are done by artists usually cost so freaking much because it is very time consuming. I just came home and then left. I don't know what. I might actually have to frame this and put it in the wall. My room is like just white. There's like no artwork anywhere in my room, in my art studio. just start adding stuff. I'll probably come through with some more red on top of it. Flower. I'll have to rewatch this later and see if it was just better having just the light squiggles. Kind of an impression of flowers instead of adding a lot of shadows to it. Who knows? Some tweaks in here a little bit. That was not the tree limb. That's okay. Get some trees all right. I've been doing this for about an hour. I'm gonna watch some more videos on trees and shading and stuff as well, so I'll have to get this thing done all today. That's one thing about these lives, at least you can kind of get an idea. But you don't have to get everything done at one time. But one thing about doing lives, you can get some stuff done, especially if you're kind of ADHD like me and have a hard time finishing projects. If you kind of at least do this once a week, giving yourself an hour and a half, and you do get something done. So if you have a channel and you feel like you're not really accomplishing anything and learning stuff, just set yourself an hour and a half to do some. Don't be afraid to have it look like crap. Get some tree names. Get some shadowing under here. Get some. I might do some on my own later on, but I will try to at least get the tree part done, probably on my own. And then I'll do some more buildings, shadowing and stuff from videos so I can get this thing done as well. We'll start working on that, the building part next week, hopefully. And I will see you next time. I've got to go out there and clean the garden. It is a mess, and we're having a barbecue tonight, so we're going to do a little bit of spring cleaning. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have had a wonderful day, and I will see you next time, and we'll see how far along we get in this one. It might be a 2 or 3 point, different time frame. Who cares? As long as I get it done, and I'm doing an hour or two every so often, let's get it done. So thank you for joining me on the painful life, and this very painful mumbling. And I will see you next time. Thank you all. Ugh.